All right, welcome back to precisealgorithmtrading.com. It's Friday, February 16th, and I'm going to do a quick video because I'm out of town. So if my audio or video is bad, we'll catch back up next week. The futures today, the Dow futures continue to go higher by just one trade. The Russell went a little back and forth. It was a busy day. Well, actually, looks like I cut off that thing, so sorry about that. But we had a little back and forth here. New green dots recently, so that's good. That's new high equity peaks. And our NASDAQ, which I didn't pull the data sheet off of, had some ups and downs today. So you can see, I think we're working on a new push higher in the equity curve, which is really coming on because of volatility. So the markets have been more volatile, and I'll show you that in a sec. So let's go to, this is the S&P 500, and you can see the candle's red today, even though that's a specific study that I've got on. It's not just closed candles and open candles, but it shows actual momentum in the candles. So that's the S&P. We're red again. We had this big move the other day. What really wasn't that big of a move, but it looked big based on our really accounts, and that's what it takes. The market's got to shove you around, and as long as you don't lose it because of it, then you just hold on and maintain your discipline, really. So the hourly chart over here, you can see we got to push back below the 30-period moving average. That's the the green line that goes there. And we've actually, into the end of the day, it looks like the last candle was going lower still. So it's, like I say, I'd say it doesn't bode well for longs, but I think we're going to see some pretty quick support. This thing's been holding up really well, and I just would expect to see a bounce. Worst thing we're going to probably hit before we get a bounce is going to be some of the support down here. We got support levels, two or three or four of them there. So just on the hourly chart, and then over here on the daily, coming back down to that low line right there. It's not that big of a move. So the S&P today went down 0.5%, 0.48. The Dow went down 0.37%. The Russell went down 1.39. The Russell's been the one that's been strongest. So let's look at that. And really, we've had this pushback higher, and all we need to do is put in another higher low, and then we can start taking off, I think, to new highs. So this thing could be in a channel for a while, literally another week or two. So something else to make note is the markets are actually closed on Monday for President's Day. So that's a good thing if you're on vacation. One less thing to worry about. And let's see, we didn't talk about the NASDAQ. It's down 0.82%. What's it look like over here? So it's still in a nice uptrend. The transports also in a nice uptrend that took a little bit of a breather today. So you got to get higher highs and higher lows, guys. So the lows have to happen, the pullbacks have to happen, and they're actually they can be opportunities. So buy the dip, not necessarily all the time, but when you have a strategy that supports it. Let's see what else. The VIX didn't pull up yesterday, and I meant to. So the pink line is the Bollinger Bands of the VIX, and this push higher that we got the other day started at this real volatility push, and we've pulled back a little bit since then. But you can see we got a little bit more of a bullish candle there. The open candle, it closed higher than it opened. So this is what we're in for, I'm afraid. So, and I got, wait, let's pull this up here, the daily. So that's the daily of the S&P, sorry, the IYT. Let's do ES. The daily of the ES on the right, it looks like it wants to pull down. The daily of the VIX on the left looks like it wants to push up, and it's probably going to be something like what we got back here. We pushed up here, walked around for a little bit, pushed back up, and eventually pushed pretty high. So something like that would be probably in the cards. But like I say, just hold on to your strategies, do your job really, and just don't, if you don't know what you're doing, then you got to know your parameters and your risk. So last thing, bullish percent indexes. So the industrials didn't move. The NYA barely moved, minus 0.04%. The transports didn't move. The NASDAQ up 0.72%. The S&P 500 up 0.3%. The S&P 100 up 1.59%. And the S&P or the NASDAQ 100 didn't move. So a whole lot of nothing going on today, really, as far as what's going on under the hood. So until next time, guys, take care and have a great weekend.